Okay, more to come on that. There are some mysteries of this place that I'm trying to figure out. Hopefully we'll figure them out together here. Okay, here is the door, the entrance to this hotel room. This is the building. This is the Moxy Hotel in Boston, downtown. In fact, it's a little bit, just very slightly, I guess it's still downtown, but it's a little bit, it's kind of in Chinatown. It's by the Tufts University Medical Center. It is a small building. It is very modern. But as you can see, the floor plan is fairly simple. It's basically a straight hallway that kind of turns into an L down here. And here we are. The building is pretty tall. It's like 25 stories. And it does have a rooftop, apparently, with a bar. And man, do they like you to drink at these Moxy hotels. Moxy, I guess, is kind of a synonym for let's get all of our guests very inebriated so that they socialize with each other. I think the gist of the Moxy hotel brand is that they think that people really like meeting strangers, socializing, hanging out with each other. And there's like a special appeal that you will find in the Moxy hotel brand. If you have a good experience with a stranger, one time you'll come back to other Moxy hotels. The way they do that when you go to a Moxy hotel is that they give you, when you check in, basically two separate cards. One of the cards is for a free drink at the bar, and that the bar Moxy, and the free drink is you either get their signature Bacardi cocktail, which is some kind of, I can't remember what it is, it's kind of blueberry pomegranate thing. Or you get a Narragansett beer, or you get a glass of sparkling rosé wine. And that's the first part of it. I redeemed my ticket, and they told me that if you want to get the rosé wine, it comes from a keg and it's been coming out warm all day, so can we put ice in it? I'm guessing it's not the highest quality of rosé wine. They also give you this separate little card here for $35 credit for food at the bar at Moxy. So they're giving you $35 plus the drinks. I don't know, they probably would charge you $10 for those drinks, even though they're not particularly fancy. They're giving you like $45 of essentially credits to just go get plastered. And lo and behold, when you go to the bar, you go to the rooftop bar, has jazz from 6 to 9, and the downstairs bar is open till 11. And you go to the bar, and there's like tons of people there because everyone's redeeming their free little coupons. And so all the strangers are talking to each other, and so the gist of the Moxy Hotel kind of works. It's a bunch of drunk people. Here we are. Okay, this is, I guess, your little do not disturb sign, sort of. Need a minute. They gotta be hip and chic. This is a kind of weird hotel. It's not that it's not, a standard downtown hotel and kind of nice, and it's not special about it, but it's a little weird. And it's weird because they're trying to be hip. There's your legal notice. And then there's the lock. Okay. There's the little deadbolt, extra deadbolt thing. There's lights here by the door that what do these do? These turn on, I guess these turn on the hall. And then there are more lights over here that, I guess these turn on the main room here. So yeah, it gets dark if you turn them off. Okay, so you come into the hotel room and vibes here. As you can see, you get kind of a little hallway thing. You get these hooks on the left. We'll talk about that here in a second. And you kind of immediately get the impression that this is a little different hotel room than you would typically be used to, in part because One of the dominating features of the hotel room is this concrete chic, exposed structural concrete here from the building, which I guess they have rather than some kind of nice, wall material. And I presume this probably used to be a different kind of hotel, probably a not as nice hotel. And then the Moxy people bought the building and they stripped it down and they're like, that concrete, that's chic. We could make that chic. In fact, we could even get, when we paint the rest of the room, we could even get a little extra paint on there just to kind of create the impression of like, we're that sort of like dirty, hip, young, cool place. Draw an X on the ceiling. X marks the spot by the smoke detector. You could even smudge up the walls a little bit if you wanted to, just to make it really exciting. Here is the deal with Moxy. So you come in, you actually don't get a closet here at the Moxy. And what you do is this series of hooks, wood hooks with some little metal things. And this is to be, I guess, chic, that instead of actual hooks, or an actual closet, you get these like hooks, and it comes with all of 3 hangers. And my sense is that they put these in here not because they really expect people to use them, but because they think this is kind of art, and perhaps the notion that people might actually want to hang things up is a little bit foreign to them. So it's not what you can do with 3 hangers. The other thing is these hangers come with these straps, which is kind of annoying because when you come here, the hangers are stacked they were all stacked on the same hook, which means the first thing I did was I took the top hanger off, I put a thing on it, and I put the hanger back on the hook. So, facsimilate this. So put the hanger there, put it on the hook. Great. Now, first thing's hanging up. Okay, now get the second thing. Second thing, grab the second hanger, but oh wait, the second hanger is trapped now because it's a strap and not just a hanger you can pull off the closet bar. And so I had to take apart all the hangers here and distribute things. As you can see, I have now very much exposed my clothing, which is, I don't know, maybe you're traveling with someone, you don't want them to see all your, intimate clothing. The other thing that's going on here is, as you can see, since there's no closet, there really aren't most of the other closet accoutrements, which means we are missing some of the standard things. You do have your luggage rack, which I guess you could unfold here, that's on these hooks. And you do have this table here that also is hung up by a strap, which seems kind of like a weird thing for a table. And a chair. This is like a folding chair. I think they're doing this because the rooms were small and they wanted to be able to maximize the space, which I understand. I appreciate that. These others would be very small hotel rooms, and in fact, they are very small hotel rooms. But the thing is, you're missing some core ingredients here. And one of the core ingredients that you're missing is the ironing board and the iron that normally sits in the hotel closet. And this is a bit of a problem because hotel irons are something that I actually like to use. Now, instead I'm having to resort to one of my hotel hacks, which is you take a badly wrinkled shirt like this one and you splash water all over it at night, and the water over the course of the night will dry, and the weight of the water will actually gradually unwrinkle the shirt over the course of the night, and it is kind of the third best thing. So you've got like using an actual ironing board and iron is your best bet. Using a steamer is your second best bet. Splashing water on the shirt is not ideal. It is really not what I like to be doing in hotels. But it might be what we end up with inevitably here, because Otherwise, it's not going to go too well. So that's the deal with this. Now, when I was out in the hall and I saw the picture of this naked guy, I was trying to figure out what's going on with the naked guy, or the half-naked guy, or the mostly naked guy in his underwear against the wall. And what I realized is that the naked guy is ironing. And there's a thing on the wall that I believe is supposed to be where they have an iron for communal use out in the hall. Now let's go check that out. The other weird thing is the appearance that each of the rooms has windows in the door, which would be a pretty exotic thing to do with your hotel. They're almost making it feel like they want you to feel like you're in a dormitory of some kind. Not like a college dormitory, like a boarding school dormitory where they gotta come check on you, or like a military dormitory where they have like a window in the door so that the warden can come and like shine a flashlight in your room in the middle of the night to make sure you're sleeping and not off sneaking off to do pranks in the middle of the night. Okay, the iron and ironing board is missing, which means either somebody has stolen it and absconded it here at 1 a.m. to iron their clothes, which seems dubious, or hotel people have just gotten lazy over time and the thing broke and they didn't replace it, and now there is no ironing board and iron for anybody here in the hallway. You don't pay $300+ a night to stay in a hotel for there to be no iron and ironing board, or to be communal iron and iron. Why communal? Like, let's have communal bathrooms if we're doing that. Make this 1970s Britain. Okay, anyway, we'll get off the iron here. I was a little perplexed at first because there was only a thing for the iron. It seemed like there was only a little rack for the iron. I was like, where would you iron? What would you iron on? Because there's no ironing board. I think there are hooks out there for an ironing board, but if you just had the iron, what would your pick be? The folding chair, the wooden table, which seems like maybe not the best thing to use extreme heat on, or the leather skin luggage rack. I guess you'd probably go with the table and just hope you don't burn the building down. That's why they have a smoke detector where X marks the spot on the ceiling. Okay, in the room you have a TV here. The TV gives you all kinds of interesting information about the hotel highlights here. You see fitness, golf. None of these golf courses are anywhere close to this place, so I don't even know why they have that. But apparently they have a fitness center. You can golf across the greater Boston region. They have a concierge, and I presume they have some kind of business center where you can use a 2005 computer and a printer that doesn't work. Maybe. And you can stare at your concrete wall here as you fall asleep on your, is it a queen bed? Probably a queen bed, I think, queen bed. Is this a queen? Is it a queen, or is it maybe, this isn't a fold. I think this is a queen. Seems small, but it's a queen, I believe. Seems okay in terms of comfort. It's a little stiff, which isn't really the greatest thing to go with the otherwise fairly cold and imposing stiff dark room with no art over the bed. But this actually very soft, the headboard of all things, is actually very squishy. Maybe you could take the headboard off of the bed. In fact, I wonder if you can actually do that. Holy crap, you could do that. You could literally take the headboard off of the bed here, and hang on, this room might have some secret stuff. No, it doesn't. I was wondering if there was a pull-out piece where you actually could extend the bed and create like a place for a kid to sleep over here or something. But I think you actually could take this off of these hooks and you could actually like put this on the ground and somebody could sleep on like a little mattress on the floor if you were really desperate. It's like a whole extra thing. That's so creative. Oh, you even got a corner window over here with actually kind of an interesting view. It's like not a bad view for like your random secret corner window of the Boston skyline over there. You can also almost see almost out to the Boston Harbor. Look at that. Oh, very exciting. Okay, here is your nightstand. It is basically on the floor. You gotta reach way down to get these nightstands. They do have, I guess, a couple of two plugs there. And this is okay. If you can't sleep, you turn on the TV. That's where the remote was living. When I got here and the TV was blasting at me, yelling at me, here is another nightstand. I don't know what's supposed to go in there. Nothing was in there. You get these very, I don't know, like aerosol bottles of purified water with electrolytes added for taste. And if you were to make the mistake of opening this or drinking this, a charge of $7 would be added to your folio upon consumption. And there are refill stations, I guess, around the building. They also give you earplugs, which is interesting. Usually they don't give you earplugs at a hotel unless something very, very noisy is happening. I've gotten earplugs at hotels that were immediately adjacent to train tracks, which is usually a bad indicator, but so far it hasn't been too bad. It's a very not bright light. Okay, here is a telephone with, this is like a very old-timey 1922 telephone, I guess. No, that's the room number. Telephone's probably a little more modern than that. And it's sort of like faux historic because you get these big orange buttons. Or it feels like kind of like a toy telephone, like you get a little kid. Need help sleeping. Let's see, what's this? Oh, that's for the earplugs, maybe. Got it. Okay. You get 2 water bottles. What's down here? Some books. Oh, you get your. Oh, this is a steamer. This is your clothes. This is okay. I wish I had known about that. Clothes steamer down there. It's very much hidden. And you have a laundry bag and laundry service here at the Moxy. So they'll do your, wow, a shirt for $12.50. That seems steep. Yeah, this seems a little steep. A dress wash for $50. Yeah, seems a little steep. Okay, there are 3 pictures here. There's no other real art in the room. It's very barren. Natural concrete here. And then, but you do have "The world is my stage" in cursive for some reason. Oh, here's people that are, I guess, are cheering for you. The world is your stage. What's the premise here? That like you go down and you drink a glass of crappy rosé wine, and that's like a big thing that people are going to come and watch you at the show for. So they're holding up the pink balloons, like rosé, yeah, you drink that rosé. Big room full of. Okay, and then there is this woman skateboarding in a wedding dress, wearing a ballet toe shoe on the one foot and an old dirty tennis sneaker with her other foot across what looks like an abandoned warehouse where they used to slaughter animals, and maybe recently there was like a CSI or Law and Order crime committed. Maybe she is lifting her leg because she is preparing for relations on her wedding. I don't know what's going on here. Here is the thermostat. I assume it goes up and it goes down. And it only goes as high as 78 or as low as 66. That is not a wide range. Not a wide range. The hotel's very much trying to. Maybe if they didn't give you $45 of free alcohol when you get to the hotel, they wouldn't have to limit the temperature you can have the room as a means of saving money. At least there's no little placard that's trying to guilt you into not having the maid come by because, or housekeeping come by because they don't want to guilt you about sustainability. Okay, the floor is this kind of shiny wood, fake wood thing. I guess it's somewhere in there there's some real wood, but it's pretty plasticky. You have a cattle door, 4x bath. These are always nice because they create a nice air gap so that whatever loud belches and burps and other noises you're making in the bathroom are clearly audible to anybody else who's in the room, along with the odors that may be emitted. Okay, so but it's a nice little slide there. Satisfying, a big heavy door. You get that thing rolling, that thing's gonna roll. There is a toilet here that has a double flusher thing. You get not actually that many towels. You get only one full-size towel. I guess you get two. They're very thin towels. Like they're not nice fluffy hotel towels. They're very thin and they feel very worn. Like not good towels. Two full-size towels, I guess those are full-size. They don't feel full-size. They feel thin and measly. You get like I guess that's a bath mat, and then like one bigger washcloth, and then like two tiny washcloths. Not great on the towel front. Your extra toilet paper roll is precariously balanced up there. Another set of plugs and a thing that turns on the something, maybe. Oh, that's fun. That turns on this very bright ceiling light and these like old-timey gas lamp things. You have your hair dryer here. I presume that works. You get a couple of glasses with hats. Wearing Reese's cups on their head. The soap here is very pink. Very soft, apparently. Ultra soft. Soap is not actually pink, though. The bottle's very deceptive. Let's see if there's dust on top of this mirror. No, clean. Very good. Very good. Okay, then you have a box of tissues here. And then under here you have a stool that looks like it was stolen out of an art studio, like a high school art classroom. These bricks, these are like from like a very old-timey athletic club. And then, okay, it's a walk-in sliding door shower, great. Those are all contemporary. You have a little mat here. What's this say? D end. D end. It's like the water starts this journey up here off of this rain shower head. Because it comes out of the wall, or it spurts out of this thing. And then the water's all fresh and clean. It spurts out, it's all happy. It's like freedom, and then it hits your body, and your body's like, I'm gonna get you all dirty water. Water comes out hot, hits your body. Your body just smothers that water with all kinds of stinky odors and germs and dirt and debris. The water goes on a journey over your skin, feeling every ripple of your body as it does, just making its way down the roller coaster that is the human form. all the way down until it reaches the end of your body and it rolls off your ankles and it trickles into the pooling water on the floor of this facsimile old-timey shower. It's kind of dark because I can't figure out where the light switch is for the shower itself. And the water pools on this kind of bone-colored ground, and the water's dancing around, splish splashing as your feet kick it around and tries to avoid the big thunderous impact of your big hooves as you stomp around in it. Now it's all mixed in, interwoven with lots and lots of deep muck, ultra soft conditioner, and ultra soft hair and body wrap. There is no bar soap. I guess the premise is that you are supposed to use the body wash is that's the soap. So the conditioner is just the conditioner. No, this is hair and body wash. This is body wash and shampoo. That's a lot to fit in one little pink bottle. But yeah, that water's gonna go. Oh, look at that. That's a very white, a milky white color. So the water is going to mix with all this milky white goodness here as it just spills out over your body. Spills out over your body. And that water, once it's had a nice good taste of all this soapy, conditionery goodness, is going to just splash around and fight for its life, but ultimately it's going to be helpless because the shower presumably drains down and the water pools here at the end, and this is like the mortuary for the end of that water's shower life, and it will die a dirty death mixed with all your body fluids and body dirt and soap and shampoo and conditioner. It'll drain down those little holes in the end sign. Somewhere under there's a drain, and it goes away, and it probably ends up back in the Boston Harbor, mixed with tea from the Revolutionary War colonists. So that's kind of a fun shape. All right. That is this room here at the Moxy Hotel in downtown Boston. It's a little bit of a weird room. There's a little chip. A little bit of a weird room. I guess it's a chair. I don't sit in it. It was louder before. People were screaming and carrying on. Now it's quiet. Oh, there's a nice little blood stain up there. This whole bathroom thing, it kind of has the vibe of like an art classroom from like the 50s, 40s, 1870s, something like that. They're going for something sort of faux historic here. Faux historic, pink, modern, very social and drunk is the vibe of the Moxy Hotel brand, and it's a blast. So I would stay here every night for the rest of my fleeting existence, and what a good time would that be. I'd get to meet lots of strangers. Anyway, the end.